Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to another week's edition of 60 Minutes Nigeria. My name is Egosa Osamudiame Agbalao. It's a delight to have you on this week's edition of the program. It promises to be incisive because my guest will dissect the topic that we have for today. We are looking at insecurity in this new year, the approach of 2021. Are we to rejig the security architecture? Are we to introduce new tactics, new techniques? Because some persons believe that Nigeria right now, the insecurity is alarming and gives cause for concern. Well, let me introduce my very distinguished panel of discussants today. I have with me Archbishop Fred Agedo, a very, very distinguished clergyman, and also a commentator on national issues. Archbishop Fred Agedo, you are welcome.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Okay. We also have with us a youth mobilizer, but he prefers to be called by his profession a farmer, a fossa. Nice to have you on the program today.
You're welcome.
We also have with us a man, a clergyman, that is also followed by youths, very seasoned political analysts as well, and security experts, Apostle K.C. Joko. Nice to have you today.
Good afternoon, everybody. Happy New Year.
Okay. So, we're looking at insecurity. Now, insecurity has taken a very, very frightening dimension. Girls are becoming endangered species because some persons, from what we hear, use voodoo for money, and we have reports of rituals involving even ladies. But the security agencies are tackling them. Apart from the issue of terrorism, insurgency, banditry, kidnapping, a lot of security issues. So let's start from Efosatory. Now, you have seen the way insecurity created problem last year. Now, it is the early part of year 2022. What's your take on this topic?
Yes, I will say Happy New Year, and we are back again. We thank God for making us to see this day and this year. In tackling insecurity in 2022, I would say it will be more better because those who are responsible for insecurity, they will all be ready for election. So most of them will be rightfully engaged, and activities have already started on the ground. So I believe there will be less job for the security operative. And not only that, the political aspect of it has addressed that area, while the other area of request of insecurity is because crime has been modified as a way of life now, that parents now go to the religious houses to seek protection and pray that their children should see more money without investing, having big alerts in their account without due process. So that has really made everybody look very calm. but it's for a short time. But for what we are experiencing in the country at large, or especially in this south, I would say the most senior police officers have been promoted. Recruitment is there and there. The soldiers just did their recruitment now. The police are doing it. Other sister agencies are trying to see they can increase the engagement of youth in terms of the security aspect. While the religious and our traditional institutions should also put some other things in place by identifying those who are living in their domain, who attend their prayer houses, who patronize them in their traditional houses, to know what they are asking for and what prayers of direction they need, so that at least that will give us a clear direction. But for 2022, it will not be as what we experienced in 2021, when the highway was unpassable, kidnapping here and there. Farm, you can't go to the farm. But since they are doing this registration, online political registration and all that, so everybody is coming out, we are seeing everybody, and the town is peacefully somehow calm, apart from some pockets, some little areas that we're having challenges. So I believe this year will be better.
Okay, thank you. Bishop, now, insecurity gives cause for concern. This new year, how do you think it should be approached?
You see, I am not going to talk only on Edo State,
okay,
because the governor of Edo State is an example to other governors. Okay. We are begging them to learn from him. So I'm not going to talk on Edo State alone. I'm going to talk generally on the whole world, and Nigeria in particular.
Yeah, let's make Nigeria particular.
If we are making Nigeria particular, I would say, if we are to talk about insecurity and we are about to deal with it, we should think of the kind of seed we are sowing. Because we get to where we are today, that even youth or armed robbers are no longer going to the highway in the night. They operate in the daytime. They no longer cover face. Even those who thief or who steal no longer carry goat or fowl. They are not carrying human being. And this evil or crime has been turned into business, a very lucrative business, that the people who get themselves involved in it, when they are even caught, they go to court, they are free. Tomorrow they are in the street. I don't think Nigeria will be able to handle insecurity. Because I have said it on this program some time ago that we should think about it. If we begin to say yesterday is better than today, is it a good prayer? It's not a good prayer. Something is wrong that we have not dealt with. And what is it? We must not blame, although we should blame religion home, traditional ruler, leaders in various places of authority, we should blame them. But notwithstanding, we are forgetting to know that whatsoever a man soweth, that he will reap. And when you sow a seed and not grow to become a tree, and you want to cut the tree because the stems or the branches are disturbing your house, you cut it halfway, will it not spring up again? So let's go to the root cause of this problem that is eating our nation, that is eating our state, that is eating our children. We were coming just now, somebody chatted about it, that even the children in our state are no longer talking of having secular job. They don't want to join the police, they don't want to join the army, they don't want to join this. But the people you bring from the north, thinking they come here to do megad, thinking they come here to do job, they are taking the opportunity of our children. Is something not wrong there? Who is telling them? Their parents are no longer interested in monthly salary. They want fat money on the bank. How it doesn't concern them. To me, these children are dialing and dealing and selling their destiny They are eating their tomorrow today. So there will be no tomorrow. There will be no tomorrow for them. If somebody, I just pray, thank God that I have a man of God on the altar who is also very close to the youth. I am close to the youth. We are close to the political leaders. We need to change our message on the pulpit. We need to change our message on the pulpit. Pastor, change your message. King, chiefs, juju priest, change your message and begin to tell these children that there is consequences on what you are doing now. You don't reap it today. You can plant it today. Give it a little time. Tomorrow you reap it. Now that there is no future, there is no tomorrow. Where are we heading to? Is it a better society? Or we are heading towards destruction and doom? Who is saying this? And any church that says this, youth will not be there. Any church that preach this, youth can never be there. And any church that preach this, some of the parents that are so greedy, that are engineering their children into this evil, they will not accept it. We have destroyed nature. We have destroyed tradition. We have destroyed custom. We have destroyed what God said. In fact, before the Bible came into existence, don't we know that evil is evil? Whether Quran or whatever, what is Quran preaching? Is it not peace? What is Bible preaching? Is it not peace? And Jesus is called the Prince of Peace. And my children are not considering that. And we on the pulpit, we are always saying, bring. When you sow, you get this. What are you sowing? What are you sowing? Is it only money that you must sow? The kind of life you live should be a seed that you have sowed. The word that comes out of your mouth should be the kind of seed you sow. Now, a place where there is truth, the generation of today can never be there. Man of God who say the way it is, the generation of today cannot be there. You kidnap human being, you begin to bargain of how much you'll be paid. And when it's paid, they release or they kill. The money go like that. Even when they are caught, take them to court. Court and court, they are the same. When you are in the court, you go, they take you to court, you must be free.
No, we cannot validate.
Yes, as a journalist, you will say that. But we on the pulpit, who knows the truth, who is talking about righteousness, exalt the nation, this is what we are saying. And I want to add this, please. Yeah. Archbishop Benson in Dahusa, who have been my mentor, and a man I will come to the studio and say with all my mouth is, he said, we have complained enough. We have criticized enough. We have begged enough. Please let us now face righteousness. For righteousness exalts a nation, and sin is a reproach. So all the people in places of authority, in leadership position, they should please. I think we will get there today, where I want to beg all religious leaders, especially those in the church, to please beg their members to get involved in politics. Okay. Because the people that have been there are people that have no fear of God, people that are not trustworthy. They never go to church and sit and listen to messages of God that can cause repentance. And instead of leading the people, they are acting as a boss.
Okay. Abisham, we'll come back to you. Thank
God
you.
bless you.
You are very emotional, and we'll be talking about that because that's another dimension to the issue of insecurity. I just mentioned it in passing. Only during New Year Eve, there was tragedy in part of Benin City, Egon area, where a lady, a girl known as Eloho, was allegedly murdered by a boyfriend who returned from Ghana. Those accusations for ritual purpose, and very disturbing, really. But the police is yet to apprehend the suspect, but we know they will surely do. Apostle, now insecurity is a big problem, but this is a new year. How should the country approach it now, especially with the new dimension to it? The Archbishop just talked about an aspect where you see a boy of 16 driving a Venza, a Toyota Venza, that costs millions, and somebody who is a civil servant, somebody who is working for over 20 years, cannot even afford a Corona. You know, so this is a very disturbing trend.
Sir. Well, we can say the one we can say here,
Yeah.
but we leave the rest for the government. Sir, my father here, Archbishop, said something about the peacefulness in Edo State. But if you look at it very well, you discover that Edo State is sitting on a gunpowder that will soon explode. Because the reason why we are saying there's no insecurity problem in Edo State, like there's no criminal case, robbery, killing, that much in Edo State here, is because some of the youth have already engaged themselves with something that is giving them money. And the earlier the government of the state realize that these things these boys are doing will soon expire one day, and they will come for them, and they will come for the people in the streets. Anybody that is doing your own work, one day the thing will stop paying. Because if not for this thing, now by now, me and you will not even be in this business safe. If not for these people who are doing this criminal job, Yahoo, whatsoever they call them, maybe by now, me and you will not even be in those things. Because everybody is relaxing now because in the evening they have something to press on. Then nobody is having time to go and stay on the road and collect your phone in your hand. Everybody is driving big car. Nobody wants to raise a courtesan fight because there's two Benz parked in the compound. If you raise that fight, they might burn your Benz. So everybody is hiding. But that's not the solution of Edo State or Nigeria. If you watch the part where you have strong terrorism, you discover that this Yahoo is reduced there. That's why you are seeing terrorism. I watched a video where armed robbers went to a school, naked students, young girls of 16, 17. The video is everywhere. And took them away. What have they done to them? Nothing. In Edo State today and in some part of Nigeria, when you begin to hear somebody is used for money ritual, somebody is used for money ritual, I don't believe those things. I don't believe in money ritual, and I don't believe in money ritual in anywhere. And I don't even know anybody that does money ritual. We should ask ourselves, why are they cutting people's breasts? Why are they cutting people's head? I have a case, I don't want to mention a name, about a young girl who was murdered. What happened? She was a prostitute. He went in with some of all these young boys in a hotel room. The young boy told him, I have so and so amount in my coffer, about something million. And the girl, after the immorality act, he gave the girl 100,000 that night. The girl left. I went and tell a policeman, there's one guy I just met who is into fraud. He gave me so and so amount. He had close to 20-something million. Policeman went there, arrested the boy in the hotel, took the boy to the hotel, collected 15 million from the boy.
Well, this is what we cannot
verify. No, I know we cannot verify. We cannot collected this money from the boy, and at the end, this person was released back and was told, look at the people who gave us information, because we need to address all these things from the top. That is where you see crime. This is who gave us the information. The boy went ahead and cut off the girl's head. Go to any security agency who is willing to tell you the truth of the crime that is happening in the state. They will tell you how it comes about. It is not all head that is cut is for money rituals. What happened? Why will a boy come from a Ghana and kill his girlfriend? Where are they doing money ritual in those states? You are a journalist. Where are they doing money ritual in those states? So the problem we are having have to go down to our governor. They should start creating a job. Do you know that if the governor, with what the governor is doing in Sapler Road, this thing want to go put close to Mega Police Station there, by the time there are jobs, if for example now I'm saying the governor just employs somebody who just graduated from the school as a medical doctor in one of the hospital or one thing or the other, his salary is 200,000 every month. People will throw away their laptop. People who want to finish school. Even some of the people who are pressing this laptop, they are graduates, but there is no job. Give them a job, something that will make these people know that there's no benefit in crime. You will not tell me a man who is earning 200,000 a month, we have time to go and press a laptop. But today, our government, they are not saying anything about it. They just leave this youth. These youth are surviving on their own. So they believe if you cut them, they will give you money, they will go, they will walk away. So why will it not be encouraging for others to go? So the only way to tackle insecurity in the state is for the government to provide job, not job of 30,000. We are past that level. It's not job of 50,000. We are past that level. Anybody who are paying 50,000 now, you are even encouraging the person to go into crime. I met one of my daughter who saw a job in one pharmacy, and he said, I said, congratulations, you are working now. That is very good. He said, Daddy, there's nothing. I said, why would there not be any nothing? He said, there's camera everywhere. The salary is 30,000, and if there's no camera, it could have been added to the price list. And I said, that means you are not satisfied with the money that is being paid to you. These are the problems we are having. Our government should know that people are getting wiser every day. You are seeing a tax, the next day is driving a big car, and you want to ask the person not to ask me, how did you make your money? You see someone just contest as a counselor, he's already building a big mansion, and it's your age mate. You went to school, didn't go to school, and the family is mocking you and saying, is this not your mate? Our governors have a better role to play. It does not take them anything from federal to the state. It does not take them anything to give us a better life. All the money EFCC, DSS is recovering from people, looters. Where have they invested this money to? Whose job are they using to create? But today, everybody is keeping quiet. The money from Sonny Abacha, here is it. The money EFCC is saying, blowing of whistle, the one they recover. Who are this money with? The one that Air Force are recovering, the gun, everything, even the gun they are saying legal gun that enter the country. Now, if you get it, why not give it to Nigeria police who does not have equipment to go for an operation, but they kept it somewhere? That means they are the one knowing how they use it. This problem must be solved from the top. Our government, our president, ministers, senator, it is time they shut down House of Assembly, Senate House, or the issues like this are resolved. People are suffering. Hunger will make any man to do anything, and nobody will do anything about it.
Okay, Apostle, I must tell you that my guests are very emotional because of the situation in the country. But the point is this: Apostle has just said that there's need for enabling environment for business to strive. There's need for employment to be created for our teeming youths. The youths need to be gainfully employed. I think that's the point he's making, and it's a very valid point, because the youth needs to get jobs. They need jobs, and I think that the relevant authorities will surely do something about that. There's need for employment to be created for our youth, for our graduates, for those who are coming out from different institutions. I think that's the point. He's very emotional about it, because he believes that when the youths are employed, they go to work in the morning, they are busy racking their brains on how to cope with work. They will not think of crime. I think that's the point. Okay, Efosa. Now, yes, only today, President Buhari visited Kaduna State. Not just Kaduna State, southern part of Kaduna State, where the media is awash with banditry, myriad of crimes. Now, don't you think this is what Nigerians have been craving for? The president must show them love. The president must sympathize with them, not just in writing, physically appear, visit them, sympathize with them. Now, yes, it's in Kaduna to inaugurate project, but he has also spoken about the level of crime and what the government is doing about it. Don't you think that is what's expected of our governors, of the president this new year?
Yes, that is a good move by Mr. President. I've told you before that we are already in election year. By this time next year, the president will be winding up to hand over to the next president. So things like this is expected. There's no longer time for tomorrow. Everything now is action. I will say this. As much as we all know money ritual is a scam, but I will tell you human sacrifices and power drunks. People we are from Africa. What you will use a bird to do or a chicken, if you use a goat, you have more this thing.
Explain that. We can explain that on television. Yes, that is voodoo.
Voodoo.
You don't accept that yet.
Okay. What I want to say is this: sacrifices that has been made by human flesh is not what we are seeing now. They've been doing it. Our cemetery was at a time a place where people go and take their bath. We all know these things. They abandoned it. Now they've left the dead. Now they don't disturb them. They need the one that still have blood.
Okay, we'll come back to you, Atoy. I've just been told we'll take a break now. Yeah, it's always a delight to have you back, and always a delight to also know that you are spending your 60 minutes with us on the show. My guests have made very valuable comments about insecurity. Throughout this new year, they've posited that there must be a different approach. There must be creation of jobs this year. We saw what President Buhari inaugurated recently, the rice pyramid. And that was reminiscent of what we used to see years back of the groundnut pyramid in the north. Now we saw rice pyramid. So there's need for creation of jobs for our youths to actually stem crime this new year. That's the position of my guest, and that this syndrome of get rich quick must be stopped. The Archbishop said that it must stop. You see a young man, he has not even worked, he's already aspiring to drive a luxury vehicle, and the parents will not say, where did you get this vehicle from? All that must stop in the new year. That's what the Archbishop Fred Agbedo has said, that all religious leaders must push against that. Okay, first I thought you were just talking about the need for youths not to involve in rituals.
Yes.
Yeah, but let's take a digression from that now. This is a new year. How do we stem all these rituals, this type of crime? It's a disturbing trend.
But it's not new.
It's not new, but
yes.
It's disturbing.
But we've been there.
Yeah, it's not new.
And
yes.
it's only church that was trying to talk us out of it.
Yeah.
Now our children have returned back in tenfold. They've returned back because there was something we were calling bomb.
Yes.
Where children will get lost. So it was our parents. And when Archbishop Benson Idahosa came on board, and some of us clapped after him, hallelujah, hallelujah, we begin to talk it off. Now it's returning back in tenfold.
It has returned.
So you are going to be seeing human sacrifice at the junction. And that pleases our people. So
no,
I just
please our people.
It pleases our people. If not, you have no reason to say you wake up in the morning, you will not go to church to say, God, thank you. Because you know where you were coming from. So because you forget where you are coming from, it will be difficult for you to speak against ritual and this cultism. Very difficult.
Good.
Yeah.
You see, I'm happy with my co-guest here. The bishop has said it all. We should not put the blame on
Archbishop.
Archbishop.
Yes.
Our Archbishop here is always talking about our late Archbishop. Somebody tells me that when you talk about the dead more, and we still have the living who is bearing that same title, then what are you doing is a question. I've agreed with him today that he said we will go back and do it to the pulpit. That will make me drop my arsenal now on that area. The second one is this: the seed they sowed is what we are reaping. One of my friend, my classmate, a brother, the father is late now. He said, when good people gave birth to bad things were somehow difficult. He said when bad will not give birth to, what will happen? And when that bad give birth to, that is where we are now.
Yes.
It all started in the 80s. You talk about Bomo, yes, we heard it. In the 80s, when they were exporting our women who could not stay in husband's house. Later they came into our wives, our sisters, our daughter. They called them Jando. Today it's called trafficking. They put a name now, there's a law, traffickers. Transporters were involved. So persons, they are late now. All in the disguise, they are musicians, traditional rulers, they were parading. They have big houses. But you know what thing? The God we serve is supreme.
Very, very.
All the money they use has now eventually destroyed their children.
Yes.
Most of their children are wayward. I give God the glory. That is the law of karma.
Yes.
Now, we are here today. This is 2022. How can we do it? Our parents, let us leave the governor. The governor is doing his best. Somebody will say, I tell you, you are always praising the Mr. Governor. In Edo State, we've not seen a thing like this before.
No, it's the first time.
Where politicians now do work. Nobody will address himself as a politician.
No.
Because he will tell you, you know how the government bill, there is no money to steal. That is a pass mark. Now, how can we join him to create job? All the money, in a loud hour, I went there. The governor said, I have money, bring ideas. Let us put something, let us create job. How many people are bringing ideas on creating jobs? If truly the youth, when they press button, this money comes, what do they do with the money? Drugs, cars, living. Women, they go to the clubs. These people are doing it. Who are building these hotels? We all know them. When you tell them, correct these children, they say, I'm not interested in this, the life of the children. I'm interested in my money. I built this hotel to make money. So if they come in here and come and drink and die, you go to some hotel. In the morning, when you wake up, you see the children after drugs, they are there. Where is the ICPC or whatever? They check it. Child rights, they say child labor. You are going abroad to say you want to deport people who are there. Go to PZ Junction, opposite Stella Obasanjo, you will weep for this generation. You come to Aso Time, former Aso Time, you will weep. Come to Olukuye, you will weep. Go to Hopper, you weep. Go to Okoro, there by Universal, you will weep. Every joint, you will weep. What we have in Benin today is beer parlor. Will the governor come and tell them not to do it?
No.
The governor created one thing. They were using government schools for event and whatever. He said no. And suddenly, event market came up. People were building halls. Those are creation. He has created a theater hub now. If you want to go there, how many youths are going there to do? But tell them that one artist is coming, they will pay 10,000 for a table, 100,000. You see that place will be packed full. Go and discover your talent. Nobody will go. They are saying, okay, extension officer, the federal is organizing it. It's close to my office. They will come there. They are waiting for salary. They don't want. I keep on telling them, this thing they are giving you is a life thing. For you to be an extension officer, they are teaching you a trade in agriculture. How many people are aware of this? Look, I keep on telling somebody, I said, the Edo people should see what is happening. Before you will enter this town, let them give the governor, because we are praying that whoever will come and take over from this governor should not be a core politician that has no job. Politics is not a professional job. That is where the insecurity comes from. We are not trying to condemn the past government, but let us use what is happening now to check what is going on. Before in government house, you see two court rival group coming to the government house, they'll be shooting gun. Police will be there watching. The executive governor will go there. You go there and see. If you are a courtist, you will never come to that government house. Then, everybody, the issue of courtism now, this fight has eventually ended because the government distance themselves. Now, what are they doing now? They've left it and everybody is doing one or two things. So when they have cab, now they are managing. You want to bomb my cab? No, because there is a direction that the person at the head is not negotiating. That is one area. And we are begging now that the ball has been thrown back to the family. Without a family, there is no society. Let us see. That is where I will beg our Archbishop. Let it be council of bishops. Because if I have the power to say this, the children, they go to school where they can hear something is either the school or the church or traditional houses. And if this message is being sent to their parents, the children will have a U-turn. I will say this before I hang out. Do you know the COVID-19 brought different things? COVID-19 taught us so many things. Some children never knew their parents. But today, I am telling you now that some parents now know more of their children and their children know more of their parents. I want to say this. If we want to create jobs, it is not government that will create jobs. Government is creating jobs. As I'm telling you now, they said they should apply for teachers. Do you know, even the teachers they've employed now, they are lobbying, they don't want to go to the rural areas to go and teach. I will tell you, that is not how it is before. All the schools, everybody want to put school in Benin, in Oredo, in Ikpobaoka, in Ego. Nobody want to put school in Ovia. Because how will you go there? You will not see teachers. Will the government now force people? Now employment is there. How many people will go? I will say this. I'm not giving credit. This is the first time. You don't need a senator. You don't need a House of Rep. You don't need a royal seal for your child to be employed. Go to the web, fill in. As you are there, if you pass the DC, you come for test. And everything is going back to normal. But it will not change automatic. What we are saying now in my own time is that in the area which I am into, which is farming agriculture, I am telling you, there are so many openings. This is January now. As I'm talking to you, the money we've paid for people to come from Nasarawa, from Kogi, from Rivers, to come and work in our farm. They will tell you, pay for their transport to come, send money to give their family before they come. Whereas, as I'm talking to you, they've not arrived. They say they are on their way. They are on their way. Farm, we've not started. Who will go to the farm? And at the end of it all, you say, there is no job. Who will do the job? Somebody will say, do you go to the farm? Yes. Where will I do in the farm? I go to the farm, we do what we need to do in the farm. Farming is not about, I said it before, it's not about cutlass and hoe, it's mechanized. And if you have these things, job will come out.
Okay, I'm sorry, thank you. You've spoken elaborately. Apostle Casey, now, recently, the federal government promoted police officers. And we understand that even their salaries now have been increased. They're going to recruit more. Don't you think this is the right step in the right direction by the federal government to encourage our police, to encourage our security forces in the fight against crime?
Well, I think it's the right time.
Okay.
But please, before I answer this question, I want to clear something. Because Mr. Toy said that you should beg church leaders that they are the one that can preach this corruption out of them. I want to say this, that if any man is telling you that the church is the right people, the kind of church I'm seeing now is the right people to preach corruption out of Nigerians, is a very big lie. Even the church himself is full of corruption. Go to PFM, go to camp.
No, please don't mention.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go to some pastors' group forum who are assassinating fellow pastors to become a leader of the group. So how will such a people have the impromptu to bring liberation or remove arrogancy, criminality from people? My father is one of the man I respect in this guy and listen to. There are some group he does not belong to. That does not make him not part. He have his reason why he did not join them. Because of the corruption that is going on there.
So what I'm saying is that there's corruption in some churches.
There is corruption inside the church. Inside the church. It started from the head. So let's leave church to solve this problem, because it will escalate. If you are telling the church to come in to make people.
But people attend churches, so the preachers must preach and say, "Oh, youth don't do crime."
Can I help? I think that's what I'm saying. I know where case is going.
Yes.
I know where case is going. Where case is going is, don't leave all the responsibility for the church leaders. Okay. Because among the church leaders, there are still some bad eggs who are sowing this seed of unrighteousness. But outside church, there is no place you preach righteousness. Yes. Because those who practice voodoo doesn't talk of righteousness. They are talking of power. They want to showcase power. But in the church, like I said, Archbishop said, we have complained enough, we have criticized enough, we have fight ourselves enough. It is time to cry for what? Righteousness. And it's only in the church we can talk about righteousness, because that's what Jesus came for. Yeah. So if we are towing that line, that we should show an example of Christ, we will say, let the church leader hold the bulls by the horns. Okay. So that is where I let him.
So Apostle Case, can you go to my question now? So now the federal government has increased salary.
Yes.
There is recruitment.
Is the recruitment
so
transparent? Is the recruitment transparent?
No, but don't you think that's the right step?
No, it has been. It has always been. There has always been recruitment. Do you know
they have increased their salaries?
Do you
now know the NSAS protest? That was part of their demand. They even fought for the position.
It does not stop
corruption. All the youth in Nigeria are the age between 18 and 25. Go and join police. Go and join army. Why don't you say that? If you really want to recruit.
It's optional. Once there is recruitment, so
no. There was something. There was something Tinubu did when he came to Lagos. Whether Tinubu or Fashola, there was something they did. Immediately they came on board, they now employ all the area boys. There was no recruit, there was no selection. All area boys, wherever you happen to try this, you on salary, and everybody start working. If there is war today, will you talk of recruitment? Will everybody not take up gun? Everybody will take. Immediately you are to 18, you are advised to take up gun. So the recruitment case is saying, is it transparent?
Enough.
You know, for this one.
It's not transparent. Do you know how many people who has applied?
And how far do I get at home? Have they got job?
Do you know how many people? Do you know how many people who has tried to apply?
They have asked them to bring money to the government
so that they can
my children having job.
If you don't have money, you cannot. There is corruption going on inside. Do you know right now a security man is being promoted, and when you are promoted, what is the handshake? What is the advice they give to you? Do well, the former person will just remove here.
The police corporal is riding Venza.
It's driving Venza. The person will just remove here. Did you do well? If you stay well.
Listen, DPO police is having a refinery.
That's the accusation of Governor Wike, and the police is investigating that DPO.
No, are you saying Governor Wike tell lies? This is a thing that improved now.
Bishop, we must wait for the outcome investigation.
Chief executive of a state is telling you this is what I say under my nose.
Archbishop, is it not in that state? He ruled as governor for 7 years now.
Yes.
He's about living now. He now know there is bunkering in his backyard. Do you know why I will support Egosa? What Winke is playing now, is not today. They've been doing the bunkering, and there is aware as the chief executive.
If it was a Kwere man or river man, he won't talk. No DPO posted from the north having a refinery under his nose. Leave that matter.
Okay.
What they are saying.
Okay.
And Hausa man come to Benin City. Now become this thing. Will you not question it?
Bishop, let's wait for the outcome of the investigation on the accusation.
Okay, you are right.
On the accusation against the DPO in Rivers State.
We don't need investigation. We
No,
know the truth.
let's call it a day now.
I've not answered my question.
Yes, quickly do that. I've got time.
Okay, now you see a security person being promoted because you talk about promotion, salary increments of salary.
Yeah, and I'm saying, is that not
What is increment?
an encouragement?
It's a big problem because if you will go close, you will know that some of the promotion is target, meet to target. If you are transporting through Benin bypass road, you will see some security men who are there. They park you. When they see that maybe they can check your phone and see what to do, they will take you corner to the bush.
No, but that has stopped. The IGP has stopped.
No, if you want me to give you video, I will give you video. I have video of people being corner to the bush. I have a video of people being corner to the bush, search, sort things, collect money. You are even encouraging these people to remain in crime. If you want to fight crime, you fight crime publicly. If you want to go into not a security man, we see you with 10 million. He will put you in police custody and say, if you want us to release you, give us 5 million and go your way. There is problem.
These are all accusations.
It's accusation that is fact. It is a real thing. That's what is happening there. People on top, I'm begging Nigeria. If any policeman asks you for your phone, give them so they will not kill you. Because when they will shoot, the IG will not be there to come and testify. They will change the story. They will know what they are capable of doing. So need the employment. There's no transparency. I've seen an Igbo man bearing an Hausa name in the security force. I've seen a Yoruba man bearing an Hausa name. Why? I asked them. They say if you don't bear the name, the people will.
That's another allegation.
But you say it's an allegation. But the viewers are watching. They know.
Apostle, please.
No, please. I am the host of this program. And I must say here that the views of my guests are their personal opinions on the show. It has no connection with the station. We must make that very clear. Now, what's our thought? Your closing remark. My closing remark is very clear. I don't want to look at the police. They are trying. What we should be doing now, the money the senator, we have 3 senators in every state. The money they are collecting will transform the entire police. Let us crowd out the Senate, because the Senate is the root of our corruption. Let House of Rep members, the House of Representatives stand, because the country have no money now. While in our House of Assembly, this one we are having different constituency, we should trim it to 18 House of Assembly member, one from each local government, and let them sit. Let us forget constituency, because they are staying there to create this thing. We have only one governor. So these are my remarks. To put in security, money we use in electing our elected officials. They did it when there was so much money. Now we don't have money. Those are the things we should review that will bring in security. That has been bringing in security. So for we to have a clean and perfect environment, this other organ, which is the legislature, should be fine-tuned, because the executive are always being chased after office, but the legislature no. And the judiciary should come up with their blind eyes, and they should stop this issue that a judge will be attending functions at party. I grew up in this town. I've never seen a judge attending a funeral or a burial. Okay. First, thank you. Archbishop, your closing remarks.
Well, my closing remark is I am crying for righteousness.
Okay.
Let the fear of God return to the church, to our traditional ruler, to our political leaders, and to the schools where children are being nurtured to become leaders of tomorrow. And I want to round it up with this. Please, Christians watching me now, please let us take the bulls by the horn by preaching that your members should get involved in politics. Since it's the political elite that now lead our nations, we need to get involved. When you are sitting on the fence, I tell you the truth, tomorrow, whoever become a president and governor can declare on Sunday to be environmental day, no movement, you stay at home. That's one. Then, finally, let the legislator go back to their drawing board. That if somebody is not a graduate, master degree minimum, he must not be a governor, must not be a president of our nation.
Thank you.
Because our trouble started when primary six.
Thank you. Thank you, Archbishop. Thank you, Archbishop. Apostle Casey, your closing remark.
My closing remark, I want to first of all appreciate the governor of Edo State. He's doing well.
Yeah.
But I will beg him in the name of God, he should please all those police in Edo State who does not see a young man driving a good car and park them, bringing nuisance, especially in Saple Road, close to Limit, close to Market Square. The governor of Edo State, I beg you, please send your team to investigate those people and see the kind of thing that is playing in that place. That's the closing remark.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's the show for this week. 60 Minutes Nigeria. You can agree with me that there will be that bust because there's a lot of problems. And we know that this is a new year. These problems must be identified, outlined, and definitely they will be tackled. My name is Ego.